that you're joining us in our conversation. We give you the greetings of Inlakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and our action will be our live stream.
Yes, yes. So welcome everyone. So today's live stream, we're focused on a very interesting call, and I think we can go a lot of different directions. Today's theme is freedom. And we're looking at this maxim: if your hands are closed, you will not receive. Let go of whatever you think you have so that you can receive more. Let go of your doubt, let go of your sadness, let go of your fear. The act of letting go permits more to come in. What the hell are we holding on to? So we're going to explore that with Lauta today. You have any initial thoughts before we go into our announcements?
Yes, I'd like everyone who's listening to think about what would you do based on how you feel in your own life about your freedom. What would you do if you were free based on your own criteria? Like what different thing would happen if you knew you were free? Tavares, you have your hand up.
I'm going to save it for the podcast. Once we start off, I'll share some of my initial thoughts.
Okay, so everyone should be thinking about, what does that feel like? What does your identifying things feel like?
So I did a little pre-homework. I was looking at this last night in a salt bath. Already in the pocket.
So you ready to start?
Yes. However, we have announcements. By the way, we dined at Harvest Man Cafe. And I made pizza for them today, and all homemade, Ezekiel wrap, all the things. Let's see, we had spinach,
I know
garlic.
the things.
Yeah, go ahead, because you actually ate more than I did.
Fresh basil, basil pesto, roasted orange bell peppers, artichoke hearts, pizza sauce mixed with the pesto, fresh garlic peeled and roasted,
Right.
Fresh red onions roasted as well.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me what I made, because I was like, just...
And we had Italian-like veggie sausages, which we pretended were pepperino, but
Yeah.
you're pretending that was something else, and it was delicious and
right.
wonderful.
Imagination.
Yes, imagination. And today Tavares ate. Usually he's the fasting chef, which doesn't affect my appetite at all.
No.
I'm just saying. But today he ate a little bit.
Yeah, just a slice, because I had to taste it. It smells so good, and it was so fun. It's kind of felt childlike too.
Yeah.
And it's a staple in the U.S. pizza, but without all the gluten and all the doughiness and
all the
the
cheese. We didn't no cheese, no bread, none of that.
I put a little nutritional yeast inside the pasta sauce.
Yeah, that's not
But
cheese.
outside of that, yeah, to kind of give you that cheese-esque, but anywho. So one day, you all will dine at Harvest Man Cafe if you'll ever come around. So, announcements. And by the way, welcome everyone. I see, there's quite a few people here. So welcome you all. We see you all here. We'll go to the chat in a little bit just to acknowledge you all, but just give you all some honor and respect for joining us in this conversation. So announcements, we're in the month of March, and we are literally less than a week away from some of our classes for the month. You're going to be teaching social installation, freedom release, reclaim your sovereignty. You mind telling us just a little bit about that?
You all want some of this. You want to get back all the stuff that has been taken from you, all the things you've inadvertently, things that have been absconded from you. You've been tracked and you've been tricked and trapped into giving up aspects of yourself, your allegiances, your financial sovereignty, your intellectual sovereignty, your willingness to do what other people say, the authority that you've given over by signing, joining clubs, being in memberships, being deaf to you part, all of that. We're going to call all of that back because you didn't know. You didn't know. It's okay. You
Yeah,
didn't, yeah,
didn't know.
you didn't know, and these things are real, and all of these are commitments and contracts that can be made null and void as long as we're talking about your energy. You can have back what is yours. And that's really all you need. If you had back what was yours, you wouldn't need anything from anyone else. So that's what Freedom Release, Regain Your Freedom is about. This is a great class. It's 3 weeks consecutively on Tuesdays for an hour and a half. And by the second class, you will be starting to pull back some of the things. And then you will leave the class at the end of the third week with knowing how to do it for everything else. So it's
That's right.
exciting.
That's right. So it's on the homepage for anyone who wants to sign up. And then this upcoming, well, next week, Thursday, I'll be teaching energetic protection and defense, which certainly complements your class.
It does.
It's all about freedom and protecting yourself
It
and
does.
understanding who and what you are. And so we'll be laying a lot of laws and principles and sharing techniques to protect ourselves, especially within, there's so many different things that are trying to come into our vessel. We've been talking a lot about changing the identity and understanding that we are technology. Our souls are occupying vessels. And there are things that want to get in and allow us to, or make us get into the back seat, but it can't make us do anything. We give consent. We allow these things. So we're going to be covering these type of concepts to teach ourselves how to stay free. And the slogan or the mantra for the class is you protect yourself by knowing who you are.
And it complements our card pull today of freedom. This is all about freedom. This is what the goal is to extricate ourselves from levels of enslavement, self-imposed and otherwise.
Yeah, well, certainly. So 3 Thursdays, second, third, fourth Thursday.
Tuesdays.
No,
Thursdays.
energetic protection.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, your class. Second, third, fourth Tuesday. Energetic protection and defense. Second, third, fourth Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And for anybody who wants to take both classes, and you're like, I want to take both, reach out. We'll give you a little discount. Not a little, it's going to be a nice discount for joining both. And it's something we continue to do ongoing for those who are pacing and taking classes regularly. And speaking of classes, Quantum Light Property Clearing is coming up in the month of March.
Yay.
And so for those who have had their prerequisites, now's the time. So I've had some people reach out, sign me up, Tavares. So
Everyone is encouraged to listen to you and Lauren and Tiffany Gorski, and Diane Annis on the live stream that was done a week or so ago on property clearing. It's really worth watching to help you understand what property clearing is if you don't clearly understand it.
yeah, and so with property clearing, as she mentioned, definitely watch it and visit the website. We have several videos on Quantum Light Property Clearing, so just type in the search bar if you're on your laptop and on our channel, Quantum Light Property Clearing. You'll see so many different perspectives of the modality, but what we're really teaching is how to have dominion and authority over your environment. You are your environment. So for souls who are growing and evolving, learning to keep themselves clear, you realize that your property is an extension of you. And so learning how to keep the sanctity and the sacredness of the space to support your growth and evolution, it's a very powerful space to be in, but it's so much more than that. You know, we are taking the understandings of the calibration, we're learning how to communicate with the space because the space holds memory, everything is consciousness, and you know, even beyond that, there's the ideas of clearing your neighborhood and, again, raising the vibrational field. This is something that's needed because many people know or have this, I think in most cases, a theoretical understanding that if I keep my vibration or my frequency high enough, it can help offset crazy things in the world that are happening. There's a lot happening. We're literally at war. And so especially for those who are property clearers, we highly encourage clear daily, clear regularly. Bring up the pitch in the vibrational field of your home, bring up the pitch in the vibrational field of yourself to offset what is happening in the world. You have any thoughts on that?
Yes, if you are the world, you are the earth, keep you free. You inform the morphic field, it informs your experience. Today's discussion about freedom, all of these things touch. Property clearing touches, defense class touches, regain your freedom touches, because it is our authority and responsibility in living the life that is the point. The point is that we are the authority in our own experience, that is what gives us the freedom to be, to have the experience of exaltation, even to be able to choose to raise your vibration is a freedom that some people don't know they have.
I agree.
You know, so everything is everything. Everything is one thing, it's all everything, and the theme of call for the truth is to have the freedom to be the truth. It's all mixed together. It's all one thing with different angles and different geometric understandings, but it's all really different aspects of the same thing. For us to be whole, we have to be free. To have to be free, that is the truth. And to have the truth, and we have the authority, and then with the authority comes the responsibility. It's one cycle. It's a circle that goes 360. And everything we're doing of the sun is to reintroduce ourselves, to remember who we are, that we are the responsible party in our own experience and in our world, and that the war that's over there will be coming here unless we think about it a certain way. Because people will be free to have the experience of war if they want that, but you can be free of not having it if you choose to have something other than that. So that's really the big gift with freedom, is you can choose to not suffer when somebody else is. And you can affect the morphic field of the earth plane so that they may not want to next time. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time.
Indeed. Sounds like freedom.
Yes.
I'm ready to jump in, but one more announcement. Diane of the Sun in Lakesh Studio. She's you can join her for High Frequency Living. She just had a midday meditation on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 12 noon. And also tomorrow, she's going to be doing Evolutionary Book Club, covering the book The Golden Compass. Some of you are familiar with the movie. It's a trilogy novel. And there's also a TV show spinoff called His Dark Materials, which it was a really great show covering dimensionality, the idea of power animals, the sacredness and purity of youth and life, and the magisterium, which is basically like the Vatican, trying to take the life force of the young. And it's epic. It's got angels in it. It's awesome. So join Diane this Friday at 7 p.m. And then second and third Fridays, you can catch her for the Divine Nation Group Card Pool, and join for gathering the truth that you may need to hear for your week. I think it's a really great opportunity. And then also something new, we're doing Quantum Chronicles now. We're deciding on the name. We might tighten it up a little bit, but the fourth Friday of the month at 7 p.m., Quantum Light Property Clearers, Diane, Tiffany, Lauren, and myself, we're going to be together just having conversations and sharing very powerful experiences that we've had that reveal ourselves to ourselves. The power that we have to shift our environment, to help heal others who occupy the spaces and places that we clear. So you can join us, and that's going to be a regular staple. And look out for more. There's going to be some other new things happening, and continue to visit the website for new updates. And so this wraps up our announcements. And again, I see there's a bunch of people in the chat. Before we dive in, I just want to give a little acknowledgement, because again, we value and appreciate you all for joining. So again, in Location Veritas, we got Stephanie Singletary, Le Leoneri, Theodora, Serenia, Delilah, Inlakesh Studio 1, Lauren is here, Russ is here. We got Essential Tribe. Le Leoneri says, yes, I've been thinking that I should embody the feeling of that freedom and then let the universe reflect that on the outside. And then she goes, man, y'all make me hungry every week. Stacy Everson says, in Lakesh and Veritas, Julianne's here. Can't wait to get your meal. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. Cookbook cooking coming soon, right? So Lauta and I have been talking about that. We got something in the works. So stay tuned. I'm Elijah Wood is here. Peace, beauty, abundance of freedom, truth, love, and light. Thank you, Elijah. We appreciate you as usual. CC Tree and Lakesh Veritas. Leigh Leon said, yes, I second that cookbook. Lauta's always telling me, make sure you write down your recipe, because I just be making stuff. And it's good, but we got you. So stay tuned for the future. We have Serenia says, sounds good and tasty. So there's a lot of people who are hungry now. They're like, that sounds good. That sounds delicious. I have to show you all pictures or something one day. And then we have Shaka Warrior, bonjour, you two luminous sun souls. Your presence always brings such vibrant light and warmth. Honor, respect, and gratitude. So, pull back and dive into this conversation.
You had your hand up already earlier.
I did. I was like, I'm ready, Lauta. So for those joining in, just want to give you a gentle reminder. Our card theme today is freedom. And the maxim is, if your hands are closed, you will not receive. Let go of whatever you think you have so that you can receive more.
Yes.
And then the book also says, let go of your doubt, let go of your sadness, let go of your fear. The act of letting go permits more to come in. So you said, what would you let go? All right, it's going to get a little deep.
No, I said,
excuse me.
how would you behave if you were already free? If you, whatever your definition of it, what would change? What would you do that would be different in your life? And it's going to be interesting for you because it's going to be interesting. But if you were already free, what would that mean? What would you do differently?
I kind of twisted it a little bit.
Yes, but you can answer what was in your mind.
No. I'm going to take that and adapt it to what you're sharing. What would I do differently? I would allow more of the divine feminine to move through me. And in that, it will allow for the expression of what is truly needed beyond my limited scope of reality. If I were free, I would truly be a son. I would be the thing that I'm here to be. That's what I see, like the ultimate form of freedom. And I see that it has so many iterations that I can't quite quantify and limit myself when I see it like that, because I was in a salt bath last night meditating on this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm holding on to something that, AKA rebelling, because that holding on to the thing that I think is giving me something, I could see it was stopping the feminine from moving through in the sacred, which knows the plan, already has a plan, and I'm the vessel, and so releasing as much as I can to allow her in to just move through me, and the masculine that I am, and I think this is also applicable to women as well, to be disciplined enough and take action on the vision that she has. And so that vision, from my understanding of freedom, it looks like so many different things, but to distill it down is to literally brighten this earth plane up through how I think, and then also in tandem with that, it's like letting go of the artificial illusionary system that is trying to tell me otherwise. It's trying to convince me and pull my attention from the truth. So that's what I got this far out the gate. How's that landing?
I love it, everything you're saying, and it reminds me of a story I'm going to ask you to tell that happened to you several years ago, and I'm privy to it. The idea of what you're saying about creativity, it is not possible for the divine masculine or the divine feminine in the current limitation of not being free to be creative. Those are two diametrically opposed ideas. If we are enslaved in limitation, self-imposed or externalized, you can't be creative. The creativity that is available to us is a shadow of what is true. And we can see that because we see that people are crushed who invent things. You see that people are, you invent a car that travels on water, you've already signed your death certificate.
It's so bad. The comments in the video is like, ooh, he dead. R.I.P. It's like, dang, y'all can't even hope.
Yes.
It's like,
so that does not inspire
no, it doesn't.
creativity. The limitation of the thinking of a world that allows for such a thing. We don't have, so there are great inventions, but they're hidden away somewhere away from us. There are great strides in all kinds of sciences and technology, but they're all secrets, that we can't have and that don't inspire our children to do more. And the educational system doesn't inspire creativity because you have to sit at a desk and repeat and what you have learned and remember all the dates to the fake history so you can get the fake grade so you can be the fake person, so the limited imprisoned person. So the idea of freedom would naturally coexist with expansion and creativity. And we are designed, the divine feminine in particular is designed in a circle. They're designed to be free, 360 degrees, all the way around, as far as you can go, whatever direction, however high, however low. And I love what you were saying about since you are and I am, two polarities of creation, the divine feminine and the divine masculine inside of ourselves, that to let each aspect have more reign to explore whatever the creativity will be for that particular soul, that is freedom. I remember when I first started teaching about the divine feminine, and you understood that the universe is feminine. You understood that the idea of the feminine is the earth, and the idea of the sun is the direction from the sun onto the earth that then completes the circuit, and then we have creation.
Yes.
And I remember you railing against all that has been in your lineage and all that is represented by your masculine. And I remember you trying to get in meditation with the divine feminine, and the divine masculine came up and you said, what are you doing? So will you tell that story?
Yeah, now, I want to say, that wasn't even a divine. It was the masculine in detriment. The part of the distortion that it's something, I'm gonna tell the story, and then I'll describe
Right.
based on my current understanding.
This is so important for the men on the line, but also for the women to see what condition we're in.
Yeah, because everybody's affected by it.
Everybody's affected,
Everybody.
and you're talking from your side, but we got women struggling to try and rid ourselves of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that your story is seldom told. The story of a man wanting to be more creative, wanting to work with the feminine, and you have accomplished that. But this was years ago.
Yeah.
When you first started, and we wanted to represent what divine feminine and masculine look like without any of the tropes.
Yeah.
Without any of the things people think it should be. We wanted to represent those things, and this was years ago. So, would you share?
So around this time, we produced the divine feminine insignia.
Right.
And I remember going outside, and like, all right, I'm gonna work with her, and I go into a deep meditation. I activate the divine feminine insignia, and I feel the divine feminine raising up within me. And so this is all happening internally, and then I see a response. I see this dark thing raising up, and it had the energy of, what the hell you doing here? What is going on? And And I'm watching this happen inside of me, these forces, and I'm like, whoa, what is that? I didn't know that was in me. And so it was the masculine in detriment. So I want you all to consider that humanity has been hijacked by way of the masculine. It's like the masculine, through its amnesia and its weakness, because I think it got us through being weak and vulnerable and jealous. You know how they say penis envy? No, it's womb envy. And this energy, let's just call it anti-life, slipped in and moved into the masculine consciousness and has been here ever since and created this artificial overlay. And so I'm feeling this, and it was a little scary because it felt like, no, you can't enter. And I could also feel the fear of the energy of letting go its reign or control within
What
me.
you doing?
Yeah, totally. It was,
Trying to let the divine feminine, and you are a committed man.
but it's no different than a male being corrected by a woman, or
It's exactly the same thing.
or a woman asking a question
And I have
to a man, and
1,000
they,
stories. Yes,
of course you
it's
do.
exactly the same thing. But it was interesting to see it on you,
Yeah.
and then for you to come like, "Oh, Lord, guess what happened?"
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, and so it was a little creepy because it felt ancient, very old, very dark, and I knew it was not just me, it was my connection to the collective field
Yes,
of
absolutely.
humanity. It was the morphic field of the masculine consciousness, and then collective consciousness in general, and then something ancient. I felt the ancestry reinforcement. I saw all these different outlets supporting
Oh,
this
I
thing.
just want to bring to the audience attention. Pay attention to this. This is what we're up against. It's not the person in front of you. It's not your son. It's not your father. It's not your lover. It's this ancient understanding that has trapped and tricked the world into a certain way of thinking. So,
Yeah, we have been hijacked.
yes.
Literally, the technology has been hijacked. So, because I'm a little nervous, actually
A lot
slightly
nervous.
shaking. I'm like, what the hell is happening inside of me? I here just focus on the divine feminine, and I'm focusing on. I'm like, I'm not gonna look at that. I'm gonna bring my attention to the. I call it harmonize with the divine feminine. Call it harmonize. Call it harmonize. And the more I focused on bringing her in, I could feel the reconciliation. I could feel her overtake, and then I felt,
Peace.
yeah, yeah, and it subsided. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. Oh my gosh, yes, this was in me. And so, of course, I ran into a Lauta. It's like, oh, I just went to war. And the war has been, it's layered. That was like a little battle, a little scrimmage.
No, that was just the beginning.
Yeah.
That was just the beginning.
And so, like you said, I've known for years about the feminine. Like before I met you, through sacred geometry, it all was clear. We live in the feminine universe. Boom. But the masculine is an integral aspect for creating this layer of reality and other aspects as well. But it's all coming from the mother, right? Creation. And so, but seeing what has happened to us, seeing how separate we are and how hijacked we are, that moment, it was very clear to me. And so ever since then, it has been an ongoing process to get free, specifically to let go of whatever I think I have so I can receive more.
And that's where we want to go to. So what happens in this world is people, and you hear it now a lot on social media, people are talking about, I might lose my, what do they call it, my privilege.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I might lose my privilege if I don't exercise what this world has shown to me to be what masculine privilege is. And then, of course, the ancient, this has been going on for many millennia. It is not the original form, though. there was a time when women ruled. But it is not about that. We are not saying that the divine feminine should have mastery over the divine masculine.
No.
We're saying that we are both portions of creation, and you can't have either one without both of us, and that everyone has their part to play. And the easiest way to see it is that the divine feminine is Mother Earth, which is the traditional way of looking at it, and the sun is the father who gives direction to the earth to birth the things that are birthed from the earth. And that gives respect to all parties, but we are not living in that respect.
Very far from it.
And because we're not living in that respect, there is this understanding that creativity cannot happen in the enslavement that is currently the condition of humanity on the earth plane. And that we may need to confront it. You were in a battle, and you weren't bloody when I saw you, but
No, but
but you had your sword out.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
had a little abrasion on my arms. Ah! It's
So
real.
it's a very interesting thing. So the idea of what would you do if you were free, as you have worked towards being free, the same thing happens with the divine feminine. We have to work towards releasing our animosity towards the masculine in detriment in our experiences, so that we can be free of whatever happened to us, where we think we were abandoned, or whether we were actually abandoned. It's not so much that that's what we think. These circumstances have happened in the incongruency of not knowing who we are. Women don't know who we are, men don't know who you are. So now you've got two people trying to be the same person.
Yeah.
And that's not working very well for anybody. It's really not. The creativity that's needed to give us variety in what happens, we can see in nature. We see in nature that not everything does the same thing. The wolves don't live like the ducks, and the ducks don't live like the bears, and the bears don't live like the eagles.
Diversity.
Yes, and creativity. I saw a picture of a bird crocheting a nest the other day.
I saw that too. I'm like, first the crows, now I don't know the name of these birds, but it was impressive.
The creativity, they're free. They're free of needing to feel like they have to have their matching flame, their twin flame. They're free of that.
I think that's a psyop.
Of course it is.
I think that's a psyop. You have yourself.
From the moment you're born until the moment you're not.
Yeah.
No matter what else happens, and hopefully everybody will have a wonderful experience. But that is a carrot that let me find my twin flame. That's a carrot.
It keeps you seeking something outside of yourself
It
versus
keeps you not being in
the
love with
divine
you.
union of the masculine and feminine within you.
There you go.
And I'm not saying don't find a partner, but it's the perspective we're coming from. It's enslavement and disempowering.
Well, it is essential so that you may find the unconditional love that everyone is looking for, you will have to first love yourself. And so you are the masculine and the feminine that you have mastery over. And so your mastery must start with you. So whatever else you do, be creative, do whatever, but it still must begin with you. If you're confused about yourself, then what you can bring to the equation to another is confusion. And that's what you got in your cup.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So we don't want to let other people's lack of inquiry imprison us. No, you haven't decided, that you got yet. Well, I don't want you to imprison me by me having to remind you. If you were God, you would pay the rent.
Yeah.
You would have filled up the gas tank and opened my car door. So we don't want to imprison ourselves of having to nag or complain or having to point out to you. That's an imprisonment for the person looking at the person who's not being in their highest expression. we are imprisoned. So any of us who have children know that we are imprisoned until they're taught, till we teach them how to operate and live in the house with us in a civilized, responsible way. We are imprisoned. So that applies to men with women as well, that you get somebody who's not quite civilized, you imprison.
Yeah.
You know, you're imprisoned by their behavior that's in detriment. It's the same thing with addictions. You got somebody addicted to Coca-Cola, addicted to whatever, to gambling, whatever it is, and now you are in prison because you're in the space where that addiction now is in the morphic field, and everything has to be informed through the addiction. I have to eat, I have to have sex, I have to watch the internet, I have to see porn, whatever that is, you are being informed by their addiction, so it's an adjunct to you because you are in compliance with it, so to say. Whether you're the parent, the lover, the sister, the brother, you know, whatever it is, if they're addicted to pizza, it's all the same thing. If I had to smell a regular piece of pizza that would come in, I would be sick. So it makes the smell of what's in a pizza makes me nauseous. So unless I'm making something that's a reasonable facsimile on the healthy side, I'm imprisoned by you bringing such a thing into my space, because now I have to breathe it in and experience it in smell and in whatever other way I experience it. Then I have to experience it on you. Now you smell like it. You know, like it's problematic.
Just can't get away from it.
Yes.
I want to pivot just a little bit. I think we're touching a lot of really good points. And for those who resonate with this, let us know if these aspects of the conversation, especially through the lens of masculine and feminine in relationships, because there's a lot of being tied up and in bondage because of what we think we're getting. And again, let go of whatever you think you have, because what we have is often a distortion. It's not the truth. So I want to scale it up a little bit with looking at humanity. And you kind of touched on it, but I want to go a little deeper. You're talking about people who are afraid to let go of their privilege and all its many iterations, and the privilege that's associated with a system that is clearly in the process of deconstruction, but you know, people are still, I got my investment in the system, you know. And would you speak on the necessity of us letting go of this, and like, what is the more that we could gain if we were to dare let go of whatever the hell this thing is?
It's very interesting because there's so many ways to speak to this. So I could speak from the point of view of all of the ultra rich who are building bunkers in Australia and other places, underground bunkers, for what they know is coming. And so they've gone to the places where they think that they would survive underground, where there may be an opportunity for food still to grow if there were a nuclear winter. But I also have listened to military experts who say 75 seconds after they push the button, you're vaporized. So it's this idea of you're preparing, spending billions of dollars building underground bunkers of what you think is an inevitable future, which is not, but what you think is an inevitable future for humanity. And you've got the worst case scenario, but even in that scenario, you couldn't if you aren't there, you're not going to be able to get there in 75 seconds. You're not going to be able to get on a plane. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able. So it's kind of a psyop they play with themselves. You know, like first they were going to go to Mars. Like all the billionaires were going to go to Mars. And something went wrong with that plan, and we haven't heard nothing about
They
it.
stop talking about it. It's like, oh, damn.
Now they're going to New Zealand and Australia. And so the reality is that we control the reality of this world individually and collectively. And if we decide that that is not a reality, and I must say it is not a reality that will happen. Many things will happen, but that's not one of them. So if we decide that where we live in whatever, if North Carolina or Atlanta or LA, wherever we are, that we are safe because internally we are secure, then that is so. Although the reality is nobody gets out of this alive. So, but if you don't want to have what's going on in the Middle East happen where you are, you can clean, you can clear, you can take action, you can have integrity, discipline, action, honor, respect, and gratitude for yourself. And that will clear the space where it cannot coexist with bombs. Those things don't take place. What happens is, if there's going to be a bomb, you are informed, get out of here. Or there won't be one here. That's how that works. So the consciousness of humanity is really, it is us who keep ourselves in prison. It is us who think that somebody else is better. It is us who we give our authority to the preacher, the Indian chief, the whoever, to whatever church. We give our authority over to someone who has not proven that they have more latitude than we do, more clarity than we do. So even though it is wise to be in community, it is not wise to just give up all of your authority to someone, as that's how this country is run. And then we see what happens. You feel like I'll just pop off over there. It's like, and then 30 million people are like, look, something just happened. We weren't informed. Nobody told us. We didn't get an opportunity to be considered. So that's what happens in this system. The system is regulated so that we give all of our authority, and many of us want to give our authority to the masculine because we have been taught that it's safe, and then we do that, and then it does what it does.
Well, clearly it's not safe. Clearly it's self-destructive because it's choosing to operate
but that's
outside.
the psyop. We are manipulating ourselves. We are creating a reality and tricking ourselves. It's like people who are willing to wear a collar around their neck as if they were a dog because they want to be secured through a marriage. So along with that comes, I have to wear a collar to show, to show how submissive I am. I'm sure there are other ways to show how submissive you are if submission is what you'd like to do, So this idea of submission at one end of the scale and manipulation and war at the other end of the scale, what's in between hasn't been worked out yet, where people are really looking to protect their own humanity and their own glory and their own sacredness, because that has not been taught in the middle. So what happens is, whoever looks like they're the, what do they call it? It's a bully, but it's, the bigger boss, the tough guy, whoever's the tough guy, everybody lines up behind the tough guy.
Yeah.
And like, you'll protect me. But the reality is that the tough guy is also in his own delusion. And that masculine or feminine, in some cases, in detriment, can't lead you anywhere that you couldn't go on your own, or that would be a glory above whatever their circumstances, because they can't see above where they are either. So they're holding on to their privilege of power. Like, I'm in power, and I don't care if the world goes down. So a good example would be people who work in Silicon Valley, who make computers and phones, and they won't let their children use them, but they don't mind rotting the brains of our children.
Yeah.
They don't mind doing that. And Apple inventor was one of the ones who didn't let his children use iPads, wouldn't let them use phones. And we think we're abusing children if we don't give it to them. I mean, these are two diametrically opposed ideas, where it's like, you're abusing my children if you won't let them have a phone or a tablet. And so it's going full circle. So now schools are going to start making sure they take them out. But the people who know what they are don't allow their children to use them. But they fill our world with them at the highest possible price and make that the level of whether you are invited into the in crowd, as if you have that. So that's a good example of privilege, taking those opportunities, turning it into something for mass consumption, and then making everyone addicted to it, and then running away to Australia to try to be in a bunker. That's not going to work. It's just, it doesn't have a conclusion. That bunker plus person who's trying to hurt humanity does not equal life forever.
I think it would be best if people let go of that idea.
And it
to
doesn't
create
equal
something
freedom.
different.
It
No,
doesn't equal
it's all
freedom for
enslavement.
anyone.
Yeah.
Everybody is enslaved. Everybody is giving up their freedom. Everybody is aligning with something that they think is privilege and power, when all of the power and privilege is internal. All of your safety and security. I have been on many calls this week with people who are in the Middle East who are clients.
Yeah.
And I'm writing to every one of them, your security is within you. They're like, well, I can't get out. The airport's closed. They're like, your security is inside of you. Think the thoughts that keep you safe, which are not the thoughts of fear and destruction. So I've been, in many conversations this past week because of what's going on in the world. But I have been in revolutions. I have been in situations like that. I know it to be true. Your security is within you.
It's so interesting because I'm looking at it in terms of people who find themselves, and we all find ourselves in this in varying levels and degrees,
Yes.
where there is something that we're fearful of and we're attached to the idea of it. And again, I'm looking at this through the lens of the card. What is our capacity to let go of the thought, the idea, which has been implanted into us,
Yes.
so that we can give our life force, our creative energy, our thought energy to produce the outcome, which is, again, a great psyop. Like, what's our capacity to let that go and see ourselves as bigger? Because I'm looking at the person who would be in the Middle East, Dubai, or whichever location, and how I'm like, oh my gosh, for a person to pull back from worst case scenario, it requires you to see yourself as more.
Yes.
It requires you to shift and in order to look in a different direction. So it's no small thing, but I can see that it's possible.
You can't be the victim. You have to know that you are the creator. You have to know that you create your experience, and whatever you have created, and you can continue to create, but you may need to be in touch with the aspects of you, your ancestry or your guidance or your angels or whoever it is that you are, that is an internal experience, to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then,
very
of course,
real
it's
thing.
nice to have someone like me who can confirm it, However, the reality is like, you do the things that are the things that will most support you. Shaking in your boots does not support you. Hiding in the corner doesn't support you. Doing like this doesn't support you. What supports you is being directed, not feeding into the field, don't work with the idea of scarcity or war, work with what the world will look like, and then do it as if it were already so. If the world was not at war, what would I be doing? I'd be eating pizza on Thursday, and everything would be jammy. It's like, continue your process, the thinking, the things you would do. Ready yourself for the new world. Think of what you'd like the new world to be. Be creative. These are the things that we all need to do all the time anyway, whether there's war or not, because there's always war. There has never not been war on humanity. We have been warred on from the moment we got here. And it has not stopped, whether you're the masculine or you're the feminine, whether it's the war inside of you or the war outside of you. So it is important to go into the silence, gain clarity as to your guidance, see what it is that you must do that is in your best and highest good, and then call for the highest possible vibration at any given moment for freedom. Like, I'm calling for freedom. You didn't hear me? I'm calling for freedom. Like, I want everybody to know I'm calling for
Hey,
freedom.
universe, you hear me?
I want some of that freedom. I want some clarity. I'm not going to lay on the floor and cry all day. I might a little bit, but not all day. So that's
Yeah,
the idea of that.
we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Go to our sponsor, Luca, and when we come back, we'll go to some of the comments. There's a couple of you all who are making commentary, so we'd like to see what your thoughts are. And how's this landing for you? Let us know. And if you have any questions as it pertains to freedom itself, drop it in the chat and we'll get to it. So stick around for about 50 seconds to a minute and we'll be right back.
Where's the most dangerous place to keep your money right now? And I'll prove it in 60 seconds. Most people think banks are safe. They believe their deposits are sitting in a vault with their name on it. But here's the truth. The moment you hand money to the bank, it's no longer yours. Legally, you're a creditor. And in a crisis, creditors are paid last, if at all. Banks don't protect your money. They use it. They lend it, they leverage it, and gamble it. If their bets go bad, you carry the risk. And if inflation rises, your safe savings lose. They lose value every single year. That's why millionaires don't park cash in banks. They park cash in assets. History proves it. Cyprus 2013, deposits frozen, savers lost billions. Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, currencies collapsed, savings evaporated. Even in the US, over 500 banks failed since 2008. And yet, central banks themselves are quietly stacking gold at record levels. Why? Because they know the real safety lies. Because they know where the real safety lies. So here's how you protect yourself. Keep only what you need for daily liquidity in the bank. Move the rest into assets that can't be frozen or printed. Things like gold, real estate, and private equity. Build a reserve outside the system so you own your money, not rent it. Start now, because the riskiest place to keep wealth is where everyone else feels safe.
One of the things I like about this this commercial is it does speak to the card. The systems of the banking system is artificial. It's not real. We're so attached to all the things that are associated with it, and gold is real. I had some thoughts last night. I was thinking like, what's real? Water, this air, fire, everything else is. It's varying levels and degrees of artificiality that are degrees away from from creation itself. So, these are just some of the natural thoughts that arise within me from hearing that.
And it's so funny, so much of what you just mentioned, the water is the feminine, the air is the feminine, the sun is the masculine. It is us. What is real is us. And our defiance to be real, the rebellion that we have, like, I don't want to be real. I want some fake things. I want fake food, and I want GMO, and I want processed. That is that rebellion and that defiance. We're seeing it in our reality.
Indeed we are. However, we're going to get free, right? Those on the line, we're going to get free. So I'm going to go to the chat and see what's going on here with you all. So Leilionetti says, I feel cut off from my divine masculinity. I keep having clear vision and knowing of what I need to do. I can see the vision, no doubt, but I struggle to act on it, which leaves me feeling scattered, anxious, because I know what to do and where to go, but I'm just not moving. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I do. What we say as a greeting is really the formula. Integrity, discipline, and action. You get the integrity by making yourself be congruent. Then you discipline yourself to have order in your experience, and that will give you the energy for action. Integrity, discipline, action comes as a result. That's that equation. This is the divine masculine within all of us, and some of us have it more well developed than others. Some of us are better at disciplining ourselves to do whatever it is we tell ourselves we're going to do. So this is not about disciplining yourself to do what they say on the internet. This is about discipline yourself to give yourself what you said you were going to give yourself. If you said you were going to exercise every day, do it. If you said you're going to eat a certain way, do it. Do it long enough. It's not even so much about what it is. Do it long enough where you have enough integrity. You're strong enough that then you can do the action, the next action forward that will take you wherever it is you want to go. But if you want to go to school, or you want to learn a skill, or you want to marry somebody, whatever it is, you still need integrity, discipline to make the action happen. You have to be able to stabilize yourself in your own desire and not rebel and not be rebellious and defiant to your own desire, so that you can then be a victim of your own making.
I'd like to speak on that. In exploration of my own experience, I can see where it's so important to analyze and assess our lives to see, in contrast to like what it is that we say we want or think we want, and why we're not getting it. It's, again, shout out to this card, we are holding on to something. There is something that we might not be aware of that we're holding on that's stopping us from taking the action or having the integrity. And it's got to be checked. It's got to be assessed. It's got to be uprooted and plugged out or burnt up to a crisp or something. You know.
It's so funny, making me think of my own circumstance. I found many years ago that I had within me something that made me think that I was supposed to sacrifice myself for the men in my life, that I was supposed to make myself smaller so they would feel bigger, so that I would not shine because they would be embarrassed or they would feel challenged. And I had to pull that stuff up by the roots,
Give me all that.
But I didn't know I had it until something happened, and I realized I was making myself small. But in my making myself small, the person did not get bigger. I just made they didn't grow 4 foot. I just was in little. Yes. And when that happened and I saw it, I was like, oh, I've been doing this my whole life for my father, for every man I've met, for my children. I'm making myself fit into something they can digest. Like, they're big enough to swallow. That's where I am now. Like, we're not doing oatmeal no more.
Yeah.
And
if
big
you
enough
can't, you better break it down in pieces and
get you some chopsticks, some knives, some forks. But I think many people have that. I'm sure there's many people listening who have had that same thing, didn't realize you had it, but when I say it, you recognize that you may be doing it. That's one of those things that keeps you from being free.
Yeah.
And it keeps you from being the feminine. And it keeps you from being the masculine. It keeps you from being all that you're supposed to be. So I can definitely see that.
This is a very
a little
universal.
turned up, but
Stay turned up. You know they like when you turn up. You like, ooh, Oats is turned up. You be throwing fire emojis in the chat. Julianne says, freedom has been taught to as obey. I only obey my own heart and soul. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I want to comment on that we have associated safety with compliance. Like, we saw that somebody got spanked when we were little, like, ooh, you're not safe if you don't comply.
Yeah.
You know, we have, and that's what ICE is all about.
Yeah, just comply, just do what they say.
We have confused safety and freedom with compliance. Mm-hmm. They are not the same thing. Those words are different for a reason. They mean different things. And so our associations from childhood make us confuse. Well, inside of our subconscious minds, it's, oh, I better not do anything because I won't be safe because there's armies. But that's not where safety comes from. Safety is an internal issue or not issue. And we have to always remember who we are. We're eternal beings. We're eternal. What can you really do? You kill me and I'll be back. I'm already back. I've been back many times.
Back for the 11th time.
Yeah, I'm already back. So I mean, when there really isn't anything to fear because Source Creator has made it such that we're eternal. All we have to do is, we have all the time we need to learn. We got all the time we need. Don't none of us know everything, and we got all the time we need to learn. And there's no hurry.
Yeah, I feel like we are in remedial class on the Earth plane, but that's another conversation. Get the lesson. Keep it moving. Thank you, Julianne. Shaka Warrior, a robust comment here. This is one of our last comments, and then we'll go ahead and begin wrapping up. Shaka says, freedom in this way allows you to move through life with less grip and more trust. I make decisions from a place of inner clarity rather than out of fear of loss or a need to control outcomes. Trust that what truly belongs in your life will not require you to shrink, force, or exhaust yourself to keep it. In that freedom, you begin to move with a quiet confidence, open to receiving. So
Yes.
Know thyself right there.
That's a wonderful expression to live. I want to bring one more thing forward before we go. Many of us are responsible for others, and we imprison ourselves by having to relentlessly correct somebody who's in defiance. Like, I got to keep correcting you 20 years old. I'm still correcting you for the same stuff I was correcting you when you were 11. You know, where we're imprisoned by the need to correct a person so that we can maintain the energy pattern that we live in of freedom, but we imprison ourselves by constantly being positioned through someone's defiance to correct them. We can free ourselves of that, you know.
I'm working on that. Like, look, I don't got to correct you. That's not my job. Let me let the universe
Yes.
do that.
And the
Let your
reality
field
is
do
that of course, that will be the inevitable, but you could just cool your jets and wait. Like I often say, they just keep breathing, they'll see. You know, like I don't have to correct them, push them, force them, cajole them, or convince them. I don't have to be a witness. You know, I can just be me and take care of me.
Just shine.
Yeah, and be the happiest. And then I'm not imprisoned by thoughts of what they're not doing, what they're not taking care of, what they're not paying for, what they're...
Because that's none of my damn business. That's your business. My business is to shine. Ain't that right, Divine Feminine? Yes, that's right.
I love it. That's
So
right.
Divine
I don't know what
Masculine
else we could say after that.
is going to take that into action.
Yes. So that's right there. That right there, that's Divine Masculine talking. I am so in agreement. Yes. We thank you all for joining us today. We hope that this has been an inspirational and an interesting conversation for you to join into. It has been a giggle and thought-provoking for me, and we hope that it has been the same for you. We give you the greetings of In Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action.